This week on Hermitcraft.
Everything is perfectly fine, and nothing important happened, especially to Asuma. You can trust me, I'm him, but evil. If something happened, I would know, wouldn't I?
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Fixorifs, our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara, and how is our broadcast being interrupted? This is a pre-recorded YouTube video. One thing we hope will not be interrupted is the release of Minecraft 1.20, and we see a few hermits preparing themselves for the chaos of bamboo being a viable wood type, cherry trees being available, if probably thousands of blocks away at this point, and armor trim being the new status symbol. We'll see if having netherite trim on netherite armor ends up more desirable to the hermits than the fancy new crowns Mumbo is promising for saving the button, or, you know, a signed hot guy calendar.
I mean, that is a bargain. That is an absolute bargain for someone so attractive to have touched my calendar.
So while we're all getting comfortable in the Trails and Tales waiting room, let's get an events and mishaps update from the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Impulse SV, who starts with an iron farm, if only so he can stop poaching iron from Tango Tech.
And you may recognize this one. It's one of my all-time favorites. In fact, it's one I actually invented. It's a 2-in-1 villager breeder and iron farm.
With that weight off his mind, he starts to consider how to lift other heavy loads and fills his base with the lived-in details of a dwarven mining operation, freight carts and elevators to move ores from the depths to the surface.
How cool is this, right? We got the chains kind of pulling it up. Oh, there's the flag guy. Okay, you stay put. We don't need to get in a fight right now.
All this is interrupted by a jump scare from Pearlescent Moon, which kicks off the next phase of their prank war, bringing the rest of the server in as well. The cheese touch is quickly returned by Pearl, but then they team up to tag Joe Hills, and we're looking forward to seeing how this cookie crumbles.
Ah!
Whoa! Oh my god. Okay, y'all, I was just getting a drink from the kitchen. I come back and it's all exploding.
But with that delivered, Impulse heads back to the Nether to connect his industrial district to his base with a lot more style and convenience. And we discover why Azuma Void auto-crafted so much gold as they unveil the new Nether path to iBuy.
This is enormous, but I gotta say, I love the color choice.
I was gonna say it's like the grand reveal, but technically you've already seen this before.
Having spent a week organizing his ender chest to carry almost every obtainable block in the game, Azuma seemingly decides to use all of them on this one tunnel through his base skeleton.
So now at the end of the project, I just have to put my shulker boxes back on the wall of hoppers, and then all of this junk just gets chucked into here, and everything gets sorted again. So yes, everything I used out of my ender chest, like the terracotta and the wall and some of the sand here that got depleted, will just be restocked by using our sorting system.
A similar fate befalls the nether tunnel to his Allay flower farm, though the well-organized storage soon enough attracts the attention of the cleaning lady. Pearlescent Moon commissions a redstone sorting system for the basement of her garbage processing unit, a sort of trash compactor, if you will, though it's not clear if she wants the trash sorted by color or by taste here.
Is there a price?
Oh!
Like we paid something? I feel like I need to pay you for your time.
I was so happy to do more redstone, I didn't even think about that. I can't even think of anything to ask for.
You know what? I think I have an IOU from you, actually. A long time ago.
Oh, okay. From me?
I think maybe?
Whatever it is, X obliges and delivers, if not the whirlpool of an input that she requested, then at least a believable sinkhole. Though the most time Azuma certainly sinks into his newest TCG project, which...
The Asuma video for this week was perfectly normal. Do not watch his video to check. He just did some regular Minecraft things. Nothing to do with me, no. Look the other way.
Vintage Beef also gets a sneak preview of it, but for some reason our footage of that has also mysteriously disappeared. Huh, would you look at that?
Where are we going? This way?
Well, this bit here is just my base, right?
Right,
So,
yeah.
what I've constructed is in my base, down this way. I'm
Okay.
expecting a lot of foot traffic through here from fans of the TCG game, you know?
All right, all right.
Okay. I think I'm going to let you just wander into here and see if you understand what this is.
Okay, let's see. Looks menacing already.
Dreadfully determined to deliver on the decked-out dungeon, Tango Tech dives deeper into the digging. And though the Patreon supporters were quite helpful in designing the third level of what is increasingly harder to call a mini-game, they can't help actually dig out the area for it on the actual server.
got their help. So a big shout out to TP, Zalvi, Kashmir, and Cable Guy. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the help in getting this all put together.
The fan-assisted level called The Black Mines actually spans over 3 different stories, all connected with a central shaft unlocking level 4. And it's almost a shame everyone involved brought in their A-game building this, because none of it is going to be visible at this rate. That's right, chances are the players will be spending their time in this place mostly shrouded by pulsating darkness, as this is exactly the level where the Wardens join in the fun.
Like we did in level 1, we hid evokers in the walls, right? We can't do any of that on levels 3, 4 because the Wardens will sniff out the evokers and just blastificate them right through the walls.
What's better, Tango is already figuring out the 1.20 arrangement of calibrated skulk sensors for maximum coverage and potential clank upgrades. For a redstone system that will happily tattle on you to the boss mobs as soon as you let go of that shift key. And remember, the longer you crawl through the place, the higher the difficulty gets, so better warm up those glutes.
Develop something down here that I'm coining as AgroNet.
While we're talking about the obsessions, Cubfan135 has been arranging lists of collectibles like this is Stardew Valley.
Then I want some bigger items too, right? Because we got all this space to fill out inside the museum, right? We got so much room. And also, Cleo has bigger things, so we want bigger things too,
Having arranged multiple pages of ideas on what to put into his Museum of Hermitcraft, Cub sets off to bother multiple Hermitcraft members for their memorabilia, even scoring another crown for the Assorted Crowns exhibit when Tango Tech agrees to part with his Parkour King trophy.
This was legendary. I don't know.
It is legendary, yeah.
Dude, I saw you do this, and I was so inspired, I wanted to go run up a mountain.
For his part, Grian surrenders the very lodestone that started the Empire's crossover event, as long as Cub promises not to put a begin button on it. Luckily, Cub can't anyway. The button is in Cleo's original home museum at the moment.
Twinkly
You can have that
trash,
if you want.
clean prototype. Perfect. This is beautiful. This will go in the
I'll tell you
record
what
disc
else
collection.
I've got in the same kind of department.
Yes, I'm interested.
You speak when spoken to.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I've got to speak when spoken to.
I like it. I like
You
it.
speak when spoken to.
Also, the whole time they talk, you can clearly hear the hundreds of chickens Grian has tucked away in a wall somewhere, which makes him acting all coy about teasing the return of the poultry man all the funnier.
I don't want to spoil it. Actually, I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna wait and yeah, it's got something to do with this. Goodbye.
Man, all the best villains are coming back this week. This just continues the trend of Grian keeping all his functional projects directly outside of the place he calls his base, which includes the arrangement of chests one could only generously call a storage system. Luckily, he has now come up with a plan for the stuff, and that is to leave it all exactly where it is and also keep adding to it. So while Pearl is out there organising a recycling centre, Grian's approach to a storage room appears to be conceptually a landfill.
I started digging this hole for no reason and I just didn't stop. I think subconsciously, maybe I knew what this big ol' indent is going to be for, and I'm going to pile everything into there with some kind of organisation, at least to begin with, and then it'll become just...
But one piece of garbage he simply won't have on his territory is the one target block Mumbo put there. In response, Grian puts the target block back into Mumbo's vault and rigs it to make a TNT noise, followed by a bunch of assorted Grian noises.
What?
Grian!
Pew pew.
That was...
Explosion.
I got so confusing because I thought you were saying that, and then you started laughing.
I now realise that it was completely pointless me making that disc because I could have done the noises.
While there, he even fixes the unevenness of Mumbo's base, having spotted that the whole reason it was rectangular instead of square is that one sidewalk was 4 blocks wide instead of 5, which is an easy, if disorienting, fix.
You know Mumbo's pretty oblivious. Do you think he'll notice? Is this intentional? This can't be intentional. Do you reckon he'd even notice if we fixed it? You know what? I needed a reason not to do any more work to my base, so I'm going to work on Mumbo's for a minute.
You'd think turning his floor into something resembling a target block would help Mumbo recognise that particular pattern, but Grian still needs to point it out to him before the payoff can happen. In his defense, Mumbo was distracted by his new Hot Guy calendar, which he had to cross a picket line to buy, and was rewarded with instant karma.
I mean, that is a bargain. That is an absolute bargain for someone so attractive to have touched my calendar. Oh, have I just supported someone that's maybe not good? Where should we put this thing? I'm thinking... I'm joining the protest. I spent 16 diamonds and all I got was this stupid pumpkin.
But Mumbo's own homegrown produce is about to be the new hot commodity once 1.20 arrives. He's setting up a bamboo farm in anticipation of using the new wood to craft chests and other wood-agnostic items en masse, which is probably why he's so protective of his bamboo, enclosing it in a 16-block-high cage of iron bars.
Man, that gotta be at least 12.
When you heard bamboo farm, you probably didn't expect hell in a cell, but here we are. And finally, there's Doc M, whose own personal hell might be about to return since Mumbo has promised crowns alongside the diamonds for anyone who saves the button from imminent destruction.
People said in the comment section, you want to introduce crowns.
Yeah, I have crowns. I'm just waiting on them being introduced into the resources.
Why would you do that?
And the crowns are good. The crowns are really good.
But Doc is harnessing destruction in different ways, and now he's learned to bend wither skulls to his own whims, is starting to find uses for them besides just leaving them threateningly above other people's bases. The latest module of his wither reactor demands another wither be added to the machine, also he can split the wither skulls in 4 different directions. Then, setting up a lo-fi temporary raid farm so he can trap some evokers, he tricks them into constantly spawning vexes which are trapped in boats and killed by the wither skulls, converting them into wither roses with none of the extra mob drops or hassle. And as someone who's been killed by vexes on numerous occasions, I'll be needing the blueprints of this one for the sake of revenge.
Yeah, about 1,900 per hour, so if we let this thing run for an hour, we would have a shulker box filled. This is not the most insane thing you've ever seen in Minecraft, probably. Like this view upwards.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.